I'm gonna discuss the procedure and phases in polygraph techniques. Phase 1. Preliminary preparation. This stage is the initial interview with the investigator handling a case or person requesting it. The group involved in this stage are the victim or the complainant, suspects, and witnesses. Preliminary observation. Behavioral observations of the subject begin from the time he enters the reception room until he is recorded into the examination room and must be recorded by a secretary or receptionist. What to observe are the subject's general conduct or behavior while in the waiting room. This will give the examiner a clue or guide in the most effective handling of the subject, particularly with regard to his possible resentment toward the test or other attitude which should be understood and alleviated before the actual administration of the test. In addition, observation may be solicited from the investigator as to the subject's behavior from the notification of the test up to the arrival at the laboratory. Notes should be made of any illogical or unreasonable objections to taking the test, such as strange physical ailments that are sometimes devised by the subject in an attempt to avoid taking the test. Phase 2. The pre-test interview. This is the stage of interview of the subject. The primary purpose of the pre-test interview is to prepare or condition the subject for the test. As earlier noted, subjects will be scheduled for examination when they are obviously fatigued or in ill health, physically injured or in pain. Their judgment is obviously influenced by or impaired by drugs, alcohol, or have just suffered emotional trauma. The examiner's interview with the subject prior to the test is of considerable importance both for the purpose of conditioning the subject for the examination and also in order to provoke and observe the helpful indications of guilt and innocence which are often forthcoming at this time. Phase 3. The examination proper. After the pre-test interview, the examiner should proceed to the placement or attachment of polygraph sensors. The first to the attach is the pneumograph, followed by the cardiopneumograph and the galvanograph sensors. Review all the questions with the subject before the actual examination is made. The examiner should discourage any comments or statement by the subject. Test instrument must give the subject upon completion of the necessary preliminary preparation. Limiting scope of questions. The relevant test question used in an examination should be confined to a single case investigation. The polygraph technique is not effective for stimulation testing regarding two or more unrelated occurrences. With all the gadgets attached to the body of the subject, the instrument will start running by applying pressure on button. The subject then will be asked to answer the following standard test questions. Irrelevant questions. Unleaded, immaterial questions. These are questions which have no bearing to the case under investigation. Relevant questions. Leaded or material questions. These are questions pertaining to the issue under investigation. It is equally important to limit the number of relevant questions to avoid discomfort to the subject. Relevant questions must be very specific to obtain an accurate result. Control questions. These are questions unrelated to the matter under investigation but are of similar nature, although less serious as compared to those relevant questions under investigation. The use of control question is considered by many polygraphists to be the most reliable and effective questioning technique. These are usually asked if there is doubt in the interpretation of the subject response to irrelevant question. Okay, I hope you learned a lot, and this is Paulo Gabor. Goodbye.